All right, we're live. Welcome to Talking Investing. I'm
We're
Tom.
live.
That is George.
Who's George?
You're George.
Um, what is it? What is it? Hi, I'm George.
Oh, we're all
I,
George.
we're all George. I don't think we're live because I don't see it up yet.
No?
Maybe it's taking time. There you go.
Ah,
Hey guys, now I can see it.
all right.
Okay. So Tom, I actually called Tom on the telephone and I said, Tom, we need to go live. And he goes, why? I said, Tom, because this is another historic day for Bitcoin. Isn't it?
Yes, it is. Let's hope it gets more historic.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Yes, it's dude. So what are the rumors, Tom? Let's see it. Let's see your 4-hour chart. Let's see.
I,
Oh, and just so you know,
you're the
what
one
is-
with all the
we're-
rumors.
we're all George. Well, the thing that I just saw is I always go to livecoinwatch.com. I don't know if you ever go there. Live coin watch, coin watch, coin watch, coin.
Like Coin Watch.
And what I find, yeah, did you see DMG?
Oh, it went off today.
Dude, that was insane.
I know.
Like, hey, I sold.
I regret to say that I did too. I missed that pop today. That was big.
I'm so disappointed because I held it for so long. I mean, forever, and I sold it probably about a month ago now. I had a ton of it. I had a ton of it too.
That was one of your big.
Ooh, did you see that one? Rumor. Hey, Mayo Man. Hey, Bruce. Hey,
Rumor
Manuel.
has it
Hey,
Cleanspark
James.
Hey,
Hey,
I'll take that. I'll
Pro
help
Pal.
spread that rumor.
Yeah, I will too. Rumor has it Cleanspark's going to 150.
That
I believe. Oh, I know. Manuel's saying it. Looks like Plan B is right. I'm telling you, I'm thinking Plan B is right, Tom.
Listen, I told everybody. I hope that he's right.
Oh,
I feel like he overshot, but there's nothing more that I would like than for him to be right. We're gonna have a lot more days like today if Plan B is right. This one,
this
was
is
epic.
insane. Well, and supposedly some big whales. Here's what I find interesting. That's why I wanted to do the live, and even though I didn't get to do it, is the number of Bitcoins. You know how they break it down on livecoinwatch.com?
Yeah.
They break it down of where people are buying the coins from. And what I found interesting, Tom, was the third largest place that they buy coins from is other.
Other.
Is that other? So
That-
Binance is number one, crypto.com is number two. Actually, other is number two, and then crypto's number three.
Wow.
So I found that very interesting.
What's that, like the dark pool?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's the first thing I thought was interesting. The second thing that I thought was just insanely interesting was that the overall amount of money in crypto just hit its all-time high.
Oh yeah.
That's what I found interesting. It just went over a 3 trillion.
$3 trillion.
That's what I'm like. Are you kidding me? 3 trillion. So it went up $500 billion, right? In a matter of like a month.
Oh, well, I mean, look at what Bitcoin did.
This is insane. So that means so many more people now are in cryptocurrency than just a month ago. Or they took more money of theirs and put it into crypto.
I was seeing today that a lot of the larger wallets were loading up on crypto, on Bitcoin in specific. So, and the rest of the crypto universe is kind of going in tandem with Bitcoin, although there are some specific ones that are on fire. But I haven't traded. I haven't gone into the. We've got a few. George and I had a conversation with somebody today, and we got a recommendation on a very small. We're not even going to say what it is because we looked into it and we don't feel good about it. So
if you guys get into crypto, I guess going below the top 10, just realize you can make a ton of money and you can lose a ton of money. I think that's fair to say, right?
It's super risky. This one looked
Yeah.
super risky, and everybody's got a insider information, but it's most of the time you find out that none of that ever happens. If everybody knew so much, they'd all already be rich. So
Well, in this crypto, this one is basically, what is it? It's not a pump and dump. It's a pump and pull the rug, is what we're saying. When they pull the rug is where everybody loses their money. And just so you know, in the SEC, that would be illegal, but right now it's not illegal in the
well, it's
crypto
the Wild
world.
West in crypto. So
Yeah, Bruce is just saying some of his co-workers are into crypto. So let's see. Let's get the real story right now on Bitcoin, Tom. Let's hear it.
hey, the real story is it's on fire. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw any of my last couple of videos. I put one out on Saturday and Sunday and today because it's like breaking a new line every single time. It's this. I circled this right here. This was Saturday's video, so that to me was the breakout. But I have to tell you, I didn't see all this run coming. We just buzzed through 63,000. That was nothing, no resistance at all. And then I was in the middle of doing a video when we hit 65,000, and we ended up, the candle wasn't closed by the time I was done, but we went straight through that. Absolutely no resistance. And if you remember, this was the high back in April. So that should have been some level of resistance, but it was nothing. So I think I added this line, but this line's, I can delete that. That never came into play. So this was our previous high from, last month or whenever. And now we just jammed through that one.
So do you think 50s are gone?
50,
Okay, how about let's say this. Do you think we'll ever see Bitcoin in the 30s again? 30,000s?
I don't think we'll see it in the 50s again.
Really?
I don't only because, and that doesn't mean there won't be a pullback at some point, but I think there's a run ahead where once we get into the 70s or the 80s, I don't see it running back to, even if we have a pullback, I don't see it running back into the 50s. And this line, that's why I drew the other day, this line right here, that's my, I called it. So once I call it, I did that at 40,000 if you remember, and I says never going below 40,000 again, and it never went below 40,000 after that. So now I'm calling it 60,000.
Really? You're calling 60 the floor?
Yes.
I think you're crazy. I'm not. Hey, everyone, just so you know, this is not financial advice. Ricky, you know what? We were talking about that today. Ricky was saying, can we get him to a regular streaming schedule for you guys?
I know. The only regular thing we do is Friday at like 4:15. We got to get into a better routine. And this was spur of the moment just because Bitcoin, I mean, it's time to pop the champagne. 67,500.
And then Horn said she's, I don't know if you're a she. It just kind of looks like it's a she. I'm sorry if you're not. Or if you're a she, her, or a she, him. But you're into crypto. I'm telling you, crypto's fun. Is anybody scared about this thing in the United States where they're going to build a $10,000 cap?
On the transactions.
Can you believe, though, HUT? Did you see that? Somebody bought 10,000 shares of HUT. I have a question, James. Did you do that because of Tom? Or did you just do that because you're heard some wild news that you thought Bitcoin mining is going to be the way to go? I wish I would have heard of Tom late instead of early, you know what I mean? No offense, Tom, because it was hell getting here.
$4 you got in at $4 Canadian. That was that had to be very close to the absolute bottom.
Yeah.
I know they were giving it away. It's crazy. It was unbelievable. my channel was brand new and nobody was really watching me, but I was screaming it at the top of my lungs. There were 3 or 4 stocks that they were just, I never saw anything like it. They were just absolutely giving it away.
Look at what Ben just said. You made $40 or did you make 40K on Bitfarm? I hope it was 40K. And by the way, everybody, this is not financial advice. This is life-changing advice. And you know what? Tom always says this to everybody. Is guys, he really wants you to do your own due diligence. Even though if it's Tom or somebody else that says anything, please take the time to research it and make sure you're making a strategy. Really start to think about what you want to do, with how much money you're trying to make in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years. Because what's crazy is now I'm 52 and I can't believe how quick time has flown. And it was, and you always think you set money aside for rainy days, and before you know it, bam. Yeah, 40K, Ben, nice. You could be the winner of the day.
That's how you do it. That's awesome.
I won't say what. All I can tell you is I hear it. Now I expect it, don't you guys? I'm like, yeah, come on, let's see a 40K day, guys.
I'll tell you, the other thing about doing your own due diligence is even, when things are bad, you have to have strong conviction to hold on. Diamond hands, hold on when things are rough. But I will tell you, it is harder for me when I was watching, Riot up 17 or 18%. It ended up 16.5%. That's when you have to have done your due diligence as well, because the impulse to sell is overwhelming when your stock is popping like that. And I didn't sell a thing today, but I will tell you that today was hard for me not to sell.
It's funny. You get back to break even. Yes, I'm broken even. I have one Bitfarms. I'm up. Not as well as the 40K, but I'm up 56% right now on Bitfarms. So just to see that's insane. Because you got to remember, for the longest time, Bitfarm was over $6. It was, so I had a lot of Bitfarm in at the $6.
Right.
It was insane. So real quick, what do you think about BTBT? And thanks, Ben. That means a lot. And Bruce, dude, Tom is my DD. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Does anybody? What do you mean?
Due diligence.
Tom is my due diligence. Don't let Tom be your due diligence.
I can be the jumping off point from your due diligence. But really, I really do believe, even if it's just whatever amount it is, just getting to know the stock is what helps people have diamond hands. And, George just mentioned, I got out, I got back to break even and got out. So many people, that's what they want us to do. They want the retail investor to either buy high and sell low, or be so desperate that when they get back to break even, they just get out. But we didn't make any money if you get out there. You might be able to sleep at night a little bit better, but that's what I'm saying. If you've done your due diligence, you'll be able to sleep at night either way, because you'll know. Like today for me, this was the hardest day for me not to sell.
So where do you think BTBT is going, Tom?
I think BTB is a tough one, but it's in a good spot. It's still only... It's what, $11.78. So, if Bitcoin runs, BTBT has been at 20 recently. So, and that is prone to wild swings. So, I took the first run up. I got it in the 4s, and I took the first run up a few months ago, and I haven't touched it since, just because there's so much other I shouldn't say easy money, but for me, what I think, there's so many other just genuinely undervalued Bitcoin mining stocks that I haven't had to get back into Bit Digital.
What I find interesting, as I read in your comments, and if I don't talk about them, sorry, but I read every single one of them as you guys are doing it. But one of the things, somebody just mentioned something about the China ban. About the Bitcoin mining, nobody even knows about this industry. Still today. If I didn't know Tom, I wouldn't know anything about this. Just being an everyday retail investor, So we gotta spread the love out there and let people know that there is a great opportunity still. Because I don't think we've seen all the run of we're just getting going, don't you think, Tom?
Uh, well, let's just say nothing is anywhere in the neighborhood of my, 18 to 24 month price targets. So, yeah, in my opinion, this has just begun. These are not on the radar yet. And, I was reading an article, and it's too bad because it was actually a pretty good article, and the guy was talking about, how to find the next 10x. And the first thing is almost nothing 10x's. Now, if you're, for all of us, we've seen a bunch of 10x's because the Bitcoin miners have done that. But I was, as he was making a lot of good points, I was kind of mad because he was like, oh, and then there's some meme stocks like Marathon. And it's like, Marathon's not a meme stock. Marathon makes money. Like, they're and I'm not even saying that's my favorite stock out of these by any means, but that's the one he picked, and to call it a meme stock, like, it has, other than the fact that maybe a bunch of people jumped into it, it has no qualities. Most of the meme stocks are garbage, and they're stocks that aren't making money. They're maybe never going to make money. A lot of them are on the brink of going out of business, and Marathon, and now Marathon, it hit $7.5 billion market cap today. So it's finally starting to get somewhere that's starting to make some sense. And it's so far out ahead. But to me, that is the leading indicator because they're the highest profile and they're the highest market cap. But, if you go backwards from there, all the rest of the miners should go up big time just to catch up to Marathon. And I don't think Marathon's anywhere near my price target for 18 to 24 months.
Question. High $4.90. What are you thinking? Where do you see the best value right now in Bitcoin mining companies? Again, not financial advice.
I feel like everybody's going to disagree with me, but and I don't think necessarily that this is the best company, but I think the best value right now, even after a 16% day up, is Riot. It's just statistically so undervalued, it doesn't make any sense at all. And that doesn't mean it's the only one. There's a bunch. It's a very hard question because almost every single one of these Bitcoin miner stocks, in my opinion, is still way undervalued. Bitfarms at $8 is way undervalued in my opinion. Hive is undervalued in my opinion. CleanSpark's undervalued in my opinion. I am still kind of racking my brains on Argo to tell you the truth. So if anybody's got an opinion there, they can let me know. I'm digging as deep as I can into them. And I think they're going to go up. I mean, there's value in there, but I don't think it's the best stock to buy so far. I'm trying to do a video on it, but the more I dig in, it's like they mined 165 Bitcoin last month. That was not impressive.
So who is eBank? Do you know who this is? eBank stole my life savings.
Oh, that's the I believe that's one of the ones that make the miners, and that was more of a meme stock.
Oh, yeah. Just so you guys know, we tried at the beginning of this year to get into Bitcoin mining hard. I mean, really hard. You want to talk about having a big set of kahunas? You have to take and put your money into Bitcoin and send it to a wallet and hope you get your money back. And I mean, you get your machines. Hope you get your machines. I mean, now I'm an idiot for not doing it, but
yeah, except for I think almost every single well, I'll finish one of your stories. At one point, George said, "All right," because the guy was like, "Just send me the money, and I'll get the stuff to you." And George was like, "I will get on a plane and go to you right now, so that I can see the machines." And then
he couldn't understand. Yeah, his name was George too. He couldn't understand. I said, dude, any airport, just pick an airport next to you. I will fly a plane there and land and pick. I mean, how much could they weigh, right? You just get a little Cessna plane, fly it there, pick them up. Yeah, he went dark.
Yeah,
but it is
so
crazy.
He was fake.
So know tons of people. We met a guy named we can say his name. His name was Bob. but we won't say the name of his company. But he supposedly had the best Bitcoin mining.
Oh, he had invented different technology. It was quiet, and it was this, and it was that, and we dug in, and this guy's been selling this story for 3 years, and he's never delivered a machine ever to anybody. So they're all if you can't buy these on a grand scale, it's hard to become a Bitcoin miner. That's just if you can't go directly to the manufacturer, or there are a few very big reputable middlemen. Other than that, like, you're just sending your money out into space and it's never coming back. Matthew, I did not sell any covered calls today, and I'm usually very much for selling covered calls.
What are covered calls for us that don't know this stuff?
So, if you hold, I'm going to pick Riot because it had such a huge day. If Riot's up 16.5% today, ordinarily that would be a day I would sell a covered call, which means I would sell, if it's at Riot's at $36, you can sell a call at $40 and you get that money. You also get a little breathing room between $36 and $40. And so usually it's a very good formula to make money, but these things are moving so fast. I just felt like the opportunity cost. I don't want to sell a covered call at 40 and find Riot, at 47. So it might be greedy on my part. So, that's a tough call.
I'm too scared to do that. Who is RSI? 4-hour chart. Are you guys expecting a big pullback? I don't know what company that is.
Where I can't.
It says RSI is through the roof on the 4-hour chart. Aren't you guys expecting a pullback tomorrow?
You know what? Yes, it's through the roof on the 4-hour chart, but on the 1-day chart, it's not. So an RSI is a relative strength index, and that's just one of the many indicators. There's so many different indicators that when you look at just one, when Bitcoin gets on a roll, I mean, check it out. Look at the last year. You'll see the RSI getting into the mid 80s, and we're at 76. We're at almost 77 right now. That is high on the 4-hour, but let me go to the.
You know what? I haven't looked at it in a long time. I have to look this up. The fair. What is it called? Fair. I can't speak. I'm a retard. Fear and greed.
Oh, the fear and greed. Let's do it right now. Let's do
I just get, I don't know, tongue-tied or something. I don't know. Fear and usually, when does it come out? Like any minute now, does it? Is it like out of control? 86%. Extreme greed.
We popped into extreme greed.
Extreme greed. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen that hard. That is insane. Holy smokes.
We were up here the last time we got our all-time high. But I'm going to tell you, this is what I'm saying. Like, if you look at all this, it can terrify you. We're in extreme greed on the fear and greed index. The RSI is way up. I switched to the 1-day, and it's at 67. But, like, it was, let's see. It was as high as 78 just a few weeks ago. And let's see when we hit. Oh, yeah, that was the last time we hit our all-time high. The RSI on the 1-day got to 78. So, and I know it's been higher than that. So when Bitcoin runs, some of these things start to, that you would normally be very concerned about, are, like, all bets are off. Like, if it's running, it's running. And I mean, you can see these are 1-day candles. This thing is running right now. And like, resistance was futile right here and here and here. So these are a lot of the signals that even though we're overbought, the fear and greed index is through the roof, there could be more run left. However, having said all that,
somebody bought Marathon when there was that $200 million cap, $200 million pro pal. That's insane.
If you held ever since, I will tell you, I sold. I got in very early on Marathon, but I sold.
I had
unfortunately.
you guys are gonna laugh. I had a small account that we first started trading in on E-Trade, and I had Bitfarm and DigiHost on it. And you know, I mean, I was sitting there for what 6, 7 months. I've never really touched it. All of a sudden, I pulled it up like 2 weeks ago. I was disappointed because it was pretty low. And then I pull it up, and all I had to do was not do anything, and I would have been the best investor ever. You know, here we think we know what we're doing, and we go. You know what? There was something. Michael said a really interesting thing about the short and the 750 covered calls under 5. That people don't realize this, and this was one of the things, because when I started getting into option trading, which, you know, I know a little bit, but Tom's my, you know, guidance on that. And what happened was somebody closed. There was some news after 4 o'clock when the market closed on Friday, and you have the right to purchase those until 4:30 on Friday. Most people don't know that you leave yourself exposed from that half an hour after Friday. And if news comes out, or if, you know, releases financial, or, you know, some major development happens, you can lose, you know, tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you could get unlucky if it's real close. And yeah, James is saying I think he's talking about the Fear and Greed Index. It uses 11 indicators to try and predict the top of the Bitcoin run. So
They do?
Well, I
So
don't
what
know.
are- what
I
are-
don't know if
what
he's
are
talking
the
about
11
Fear and Greed, or if he's talking about something else. The site is great. Yeah, I looked at the whole equation for the Fear and Greed Index, and some of it, in my opinion, is somewhat subjective. But
So
it has been a very good indicator. I mean,
I know you just said you wouldn't like to do this, but I'm going to ask you anyways on these covered calls. So on Bitfarm, let's say you wanted to make extra money because you're greedy, like me.
okay.
So I could take, and because I own, you know, a few I could take and sell them like at I don't know, $10 for an example.
Exactly. You could sell the $10 calls.
And then so I would make whatever that money
And
was.
they're a covered call because you own the stock.
On the stock.
Now,
Okay.
if you do an uncovered call, which most people aren't allowed to do, you don't ever. Nobody. This is not financial advice, but don't ever do that.
See,
the
this
risk
is
infinity.
what we got our first customer right there. Read what that says.
What?
Still trying to find a good option call class video to understand and participate in the fun. Any ideas? See, that's what I want to do. I've been telling Tom. I told him, let's do a basics 101 on options because they're fun. I mean, you got to admit, because what's cool about options, and again, this is all stuff that Tom has told me. I didn't know any of this. Tom's been teaching me as I've been going along, and is that you can put in $1,000 and you can get $5,000 back. Is that correct, Tom? I mean, not always. This is not financial advice. You can also lose that $1,000.
Options are a way to leverage a stock. So depending on how risky you want to get, how short term they are, you can severely leverage purchasing. Instead of buying the stock, you can leverage it through options, and you know, obviously there's risk involved. Your options can go to, if your options don't end up getting in the money, then they end up being worth zero. So, you know, on the good side, whatever you invest, you've quantified your risk. On the bad side is, you know, these do go to, it's not like, you know, a stock can go to zero, but how many times does that happen? You know, 1 in 10,000. With options, they go to zero all the time.
That's the guy that bought eBay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it went to zero. I mean, it did, you know, unfortunately. Ben is kicking it, man. $4.38 he bought Bitfarm. It's insane. I'm not selling. Just so you guys all know, I don't care what it goes to. I am not selling right now. I'm holding that for hoodling. I'm hoodling. Oh, and everybody, when do you think DigiHost is going to announce the uplisting? Can you tell them that they're going to do it tomorrow or no? Oops.
I have no insight information on when that is going to happen. I know they did their reverse stock split. That went unbelievably well. I thought that was going to be a potential problem, but that was a big hurdle. So I got to believe that is coming soon.
Any day. So do you think there'd be another bump for going up there?
So far, the switch over onto the NASDAQ has not really been a huge bump for any of these guys. I don't know if they just picked the wrong... Some of them did it at a very tough time when Bitcoin was, in either... it had that tough period after our all-time high. A lot of them in June and July, and they got no bump for going to the NASDAQ. What they did... Now, they're up now, right? Almost all these miners are up about 100% in the last 6 weeks. So... it's hard to miss in a run like that.
Before we go, just explain to me what puts are and how you can buy them and how you can limit your downside now on stuff like this.
So if you have so let's say the person that bought Bitfarms at $4, it's now at $8. So
that was Ben, by the way.
Ben, congratulations. That was a good move, and you held them, so nicely done. So if you're worried that, either Bitcoin is going to crash or you just, the more profit you have and the more you have invested, the more exposure you have. So one of the things you can do is buy a put, which is the opposite of a call. It's the right to sell a stock at a certain price.
Don't hit me, woman. My wife's mad at me. Sorry. Go ahead. So you have the right to buy a put
buying a put gives you the right to sell a stock at a certain price. So if you bought Bitfarms at 4 and it's at 8 right now, and you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to buy some puts at 6, that locks in 50% of my profit. And it doesn't cost you a fortune, because if you want to buy puts at $8, they're so expensive that it's almost like you're erasing your potential profits. So you got to have some amount at risk. Puts are getting expensive right now. Anything near the money in the Bitcoin miners, everybody knows these things are very volatile. So there's a big premium. Oh, thanks on my haircut.
I'm out of Lux right now. Just so you know, I'm out of Lux. I don't know. Are you still in it, Tom?
No, I am not in Lux right now.
Let me tell you, one of the things I'm nervous about Lux is I don't know why they didn't go on the NASDAQ or at least do something over here, and do a reverse split. They went to, here's why I got out of them, is they went to the German market of all places to raise money. So they went from Canada to Germany.
And I think they might still be on both. I just want to address, we got, what do you call it? A super chat. What are your thoughts on Argo? I'm struggling on Argo. I want to do a video on Argo. I was talking earlier, and I'm trying to put a video together. I think that there's value in Argo, but I don't think it's as underpriced as a lot of the other miners. They're not doing, originally the Bitfarms, Hut 8, Argo, Hive, all the Canadian miners were all kind of interchangeable, but Argo is doing a lot less mining than all the rest of those guys are. They mined 165 Bitcoin in October, and Bitfarms mined more than twice as much as that. Hut 8 has not said theirs yet. They have their earnings this week, so I'm just guessing they're going to tell us at earnings. And Hive hasn't, but Hive did the BTC equivalents, because they mine Ethereum. They did over 400 in September, so I'm assuming their October numbers are going to be pretty dramatically higher. So I haven't finished doing my analysis on Argo. I'm not saying it's a bad investment. It probably is a good investment, but it may not be as good as some of the other miners.
No, and back to Lux real quick. Lux is kind of stalled out. I don't know why they have not gotten a big bump. It's a small cap. One of the things, Tom, he said he was never going to go after a company that's on $100 million or less market share. And you'd have to. Why is that, Tom?
I don't want to do a video on a company that's micro cap, because it's just, those are playing with fire. And if you want to put a little bit of your portfolio into some of those, they're also the ones that can 10x, right? If you got something that's a $20 million market cap, a 10x only makes it a $200 million market cap. So there's lots of opportunity down there, but it is very hit or miss. Most of those companies' information is very hard to come by, so trying to do full due diligence on them is very difficult. So I have traded some of those on and off, but I've never done a video on one because I just feel like they're too much risk.
Yeah, I know they're so small. But see, what can happen is, some just stupid CEO can go and give himself $400 million bonus and really mess them. Oh, sorry, that's a Cleanspark joke. And really mess them up. They are like playing the lottery. ASIC miner producers love ASIC miners.
And somebody asked, is there any non-Chinese ASIC miner producers? And from everything that I can tell, a lot of the companies have moved their production out of China, but they're all Chinese companies. So I haven't found one that's not a Chinese company. So if anybody does know one, let me know.
You know what is funny about Elon? Do you think that Elon bought more BTC? There's a very good likelihood that he did do that. And somebody was saying this. It would be an unbelievable idea for him to do. And that was, and man, the guy could be smarter than I think. And I have to tip my hat. Somebody said he did that, and then he's going to push it down 20% and then go back in and buy it back. And he just made, 20. But I mean, what does he care? You know what I mean? What does he care? Why would he do that?
Here's my opinion on that. And I am very glad to say I think we are now no longer in a world where when Elon Musk tweets something about Bitcoin, it moves the needle. We're past that. That was awful. I don't like what he did. So I don't know if you guys followed the whole story with him. I feel like he acted in bad faith, very much so, in my opinion. But right now, it wouldn't make a difference what he said. We're way past Elon Musk affecting Bitcoin, in my opinion.
I'm not calling this lady. Customer calling me at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, that's a booty call. Sorry, honey, I'm gonna be late tonight. A booty call. Hey, CCP hates Bitcoin.
Well, that's what they say, and then they were like, well, maybe we changed our mind and we're going to invite everybody back, but I think that ship has sailed. So
I think it's more to do with they don't want freedom for their people, you know what I mean? So that's a good question. What company is on your radar?
What company?
You have any that you're yeah.
Well, let's see. That offers financial services and infrastructure for cryptos. So I'm not sure exactly what that's getting at. I mean, there's companies.
Maybe they're talking about Solo.
There's companies like Voyager and SoFi and those kind of things that are trying to be broad-based, everything to everybody companies that allow you to move easily through crypto. So I don't own any of those, and the only reason is, and I'm kicking myself, I was prepping a Voyager video, and in the middle of doing that, it went off the charts, so I just never bothered to even do it. And worse than that, I didn't buy it. I missed my buying opportunity also. So
Beam is still unbelievable too. I'm sorry, not financial
Beam,
advice.
That's our non-Bitcoin miner squeeze play. Beam was up 16% today. So Beam's been on fire. So if anybody wants to check out my Beam video, somehow the word's got to get spread. That is the ultimate equation for a squeeze.
That could be, and you heard it first from Tom, because at one point in time it was the #1 shorted stock.
Yeah, it's still one of the top 3 or 4 most shorted stocks in the market.
And they make a good product, and they're trying to help the environment. So I mean, it's what they do is they make a what is it, an EV charging station?
They make an EV charging station. It's solar powered. It's off the grid, and in the infrastructure bill that's going around, there's some astronomical number allocated to EV charging stations. So, you know, I think that's why it popped 16% today.
This chick is still calling me. Hey,
Blocker.
Something wrong?
How are ya?
Good.
Good. Okay.
All right, George is going to check out for a minute. You know, Blink went off today big time, but that's another one. And this is what I like about Beam versus like Blink and ChargePoint. If you look at the price to sales and those kind of numbers on Blink, like it's going to take 100 years, in my opinion, for them to catch up to their market cap right now. So I don't, and now definitely after they went crazy today, I feel like it's too late. There was a run, but I feel like I missed it. Yeah, so they're saying they reduced their marathon position because they're likely to do a capital raise. And, you know, I was having this talk with somebody left a comment, oh, they're never going to need to raise any capital ever again. They're looking to get 13.3 exahash of mining equipment, and they do not have enough money for that. So I don't know. I can't say, but I would tend to agree with that. I think at some point, and now that their stock's at $70-something, it'd be a pretty good time to go raise a couple $100 million. Now, having said that, at $7.5 billion market cap, they could go raise $250 million, and it's almost not even that big of a deal. I'm also, I looked at Helion. George is asking, how about Helion? I've looked at that, and it's a similar situation. A lot of these stocks have run up to a market cap that I can't find a way to justify. Like the Helions and Blinks, they are at the exact opposite end of the universe as these Bitcoin mining stocks are. These mining stocks, their price has to catch up to their performance. With Helion and Blink and all those, they've got to have some kind of decade-long run of excellence just to justify where they trade right now, in my opinion. Michael B is saying there's $7.5 billion in Biden's plans for EV charging stations. So yeah, I knew it was a big number. Thank you, Michael. So $7.5 billion, and if Beam gets 300 or 400 million of that, they're gold.
They're gold.
So,
well, hey, if I don't get off, I'm gonna end up after filing for a divorce. Just so you guys know.
All right. Well, this was just an impromptu. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Congratulations to everybody who has held on. We're now at 67,707. So,
oof.
Let's see where we go. We got lots of green candles. Let's shoot for 70,000.
And I'm praying on Friday we will be able to tell you the address for our Discord.
Yeah,
that was part of our meeting.
Yes. We had a meeting on that today, and that's, since I'm no longer computer literate, that's George's department.
And that's not much better. Thanks, guys, for watching. I really appreciate you guys.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night, and thanks so much.